Hey everyone, Kevin Ross from Innovative Nurse. Welcome to another series of A Shot of Technology. Today, I actually want to talk to you about the Nix X10D digital photo frame. Now this is a 10.4 inch photo frame. And if you don't know anything about photo frames, well, really what this is it's a device that takes your photos from the cloud, from your smartphone, from your computer, and gets them on something where you can actually enjoy them, because I know that we have thousands of photos personally that are just sitting in the cloud and on our computers and we don't really get to enjoy them. And so with this device, you can enjoy them. And I also have a little bit of a advocacy piece here for those who don't have any devices to be able to see digital photos. And I'm talking probably mostly about our grandparents who really are looking for those shots of the kids or the video of the kids, and how do we get those to them? Because, you know, we're sharing this stuff all the time on social media, Facebook, Google+, Twitter. They're not really on there. Hey, maybe you are. Maybe you're cool and hip and you have those devices. Maybe you have a smartphone and you can access those precious moments that we are here to see for ourselves and take those snapshots. But for those family members who might not have a device to actually get these photos and this media, this is a great little device here. It's a 10.4 inch screen. It is not high def, it is high resolution, but it is not HD ready. 800 by 600 pixels, and it accepts, there's no built-in memory, but it does accept SDHC cards. And so ultimately we've got ourselves here an 8 gigabyte SD card here, SDHC to be exact. And so I believe, it doesn't say, I don't think there's a max on that, but I mean, if you get an 8 or 16 gig card, you're gonna have a lot of photos on here. But let's talk about some of the other features of the frame itself. Now, simply, this can be mounted on the wall and you can mount from there. There are speakers here and it does play music and videos. And so there's also a menu button here, so there's power on, and then of course there's the scroll wheel here, so up, down, left, and right, and then the OK, and then this is a back button. Now, if you were to just, I mean, when you turn it on, you're right here at the setup screen. It has the basic stuff of the language. Are you shuffling? Is it random? How quickly is the slideshow going? Because ultimately these photos are just gonna go. I mean, this is literally plug and play, and you're gonna see how easy this is. I'll go ahead and back out of that. So what's going to be included is there is a power adapter. There's no built-in battery. There is a USB port, and so there is no USB cable that was included in this in the packaging. And then of course there is an SD card slot. Now, a lot of computers have the built-in SD card slot, so you can just pop that in and then drag and drop the photos over. Let's say that you don't have that, but you do have a spare USB cable that you can just plug in here. And you would just pop this in here, and then of course just drag the photos over, because this would just be recognized as an external hard drive on your computer itself. But I have the built-in SD card slots on my computers, and so I was able to just drag and drop the photos. So for those individuals who aren't as tech savvy, and you're really going to understand how easy this is. Right now we're at the setup screen, and so your loved one is going to be able to just go ahead and pop that SD card in, and there it is, and boom. Oh my goodness, how easy that is. Look at that, plug and play. Literally, that's my family. I don't really need any copyright here because they're my family and I can share these photos. And so essentially what you're going to be able to do here is just pop the SD card in. There is landscape mode, so you can see it fills up the screen here, and then there's you have portrait and landscape. And so on the portrait and landscape, you'll see the differences where you've got the black bars on the side. That's not too inhibitive, I don't think. You still get a good view here of the photos, and it just kind of scrolls through, just magically scrolls through. And so it kind of varies on how it shuffles through. So there's a tiling effect. There it is. There's a tiling effect that it actually does. And then, so it'll go through that. And then of course it just kind of pans or scrolls across that way. See, there you go. So it kind of changes things up. Now, this device plays video, MPEG-4 AVI files. It plays MP3 files as well. And I'm going to tell you something about that in just a second. And then of course, obviously it shows you photos. Now the photos are in a JPEG format, not PNG files, but JPEG format. So, and that's according to the user manual. There is a combo section on here. And so what I would do here is, if we scroll over, there's combo. Now what that means is, let's say you take your SD card and you load up a folder. You create a folder called Photos and Music. And then you drag all those photos in there in that folder that you want to have in there. And then drag in the music or the audio files or whatever it is into that folder itself. Then you eject the SD card, you pop it in here, and then you hit combo. And then ultimately what it wants to do is find that folder. And so what it will do is find that particular folder that is, let's say the photos and music, or photos and video. Oh, I'm sorry, photos and music, like we were saying. And so what it's going to do is bring you to this menu, and it's going to try to find the folder that you created. Now, I didn't create a folder with photos and music in there, but essentially what you do is you just scroll down until you get to it, and then you just click OK, and boom, it's going to start playing that slideshow with the photos and the music. There is a remote that is included here. The remote has volume up and down, and then a menu, and of course there's power on and off. There's a slideshow section here. There's the mode. There's zoom in. So if you're a family member or you want to zoom in on a photo, you can do so. And so that's included. So again, we've got the remote. We've got the 10-inch screen, a high resolution screen. Again, it's not high def ready, not HD ready, but essentially it is high resolution, 800 by 600 pixels, 4x3 display screen. And again, it really is plug and play. There is an energy saving mode on here. So essentially what you can do ultimately is set it to auto on or auto off. There's a calendar function on here as well. So on the calendars, if you wanted to create a way to go to the calendar itself and have a photo next to the calendar, then you can also do that. Or there's an alarm function on here. So maybe you wake up to a beautiful photo of one of your grandkids. And so really, I mean, the menu is just so intuitive here. It really is. And I think that for anybody who's not as tech savvy would benefit from something like this, rather than if they don't have a smartphone or a computer and they just don't have the capability of viewing this digital media. This is a great way. You can just load up your SD cards and send them out to your family members, and then they can just load them right into the frame and then play the slideshow. Or if you have someone who can accept those photos for you, because let's say you get a really large SD card, instead of sending multiple SD cards, you just put something in the cloud, and then your family member there, wherever they're located, can just pull that stuff down, pop it on the SD card, and then give it back to the family member. Boom, pop it right into the frame, and you're good to go. So it's pretty lightweight. I don't know exactly how much this thing weighs, but I think pretty much a standard hook for your wall, if you're wall mounting it, will be just fine. And again, it's got the power adapter. There is no USB cable that comes with it. The SD card does not come with it. You will have to purchase that separately, but those are fairly inexpensive online. It's an $80 entry point here for this particular frame on Amazon. I purchased this on Amazon, and we're shipping this out to my mother-in-law, and again, my sister-in-law will help her set it up, but it's pretty much plug and play, ready to go for her. Anyway, if you have a digital photo frame, let me know what you think. If you have this particular device or you're interested in this device, certainly hit me up with any questions or comments. And I really appreciate you watching here on our series of A Shot of Technology. Again, I'm Kevin Ross from Innovative Nurse, and I look forward to seeing you on our next video series here when we're talking tech.